matter. An injunction has been filed to stop any receivership arrangement, but this bank still continued to do so. Well, then one could only say that there is something amiss. And then again, once Sugrim would have deposited $82 million into the company's account, and why should somebody just deposit 82 million? Is it that this person who's depositing the 82 million is buying something to that value? That is all we can think it ought to be. Because nothing comes to the worker, and we can't find out anything from the management. So the bank has to know what's going on. Mr. Cashier Khan has to know what's going on. And there are other persons of interest that we are looking at that ought to know what's going on.
So you're saying that in this company, Precision Woodworking, in receivership, somebody deposited $82 million?
Yeah, $82 million into the account, not towards Precision Woodworking.
And Precision Woodworking don't know how this money
No, they don't know it got there.
Okay, so that is what you refer to as a mafia-style
A mafia-style thing, or is it money laundering? Because how come somebody can just deposit something, which means that there is something being bought, if you more or less evoking a receivership.
We heard from Mr. Andrews, and now we're going to speak to some staff of Precision Woodworking, and they're going to tell us their fears in terms of the company going to receivership and why they're out here protesting. As we know, they need the severance pay. It's some time now they didn't pay the severance pay. I understand that Precision Woodworking did pay the staff partially the severance pay, and that is the agency, that's the company the staff is relying on to pay them the severance pay. They don't know they have any arrangement with any bank, with any receiver to receive severance pay. So when the company Precision Woodworking would go into receivership, the families of these workers, I understand over 150 persons working there, and their family are fearful in terms of who will compensate them for the years of service. If it's the bank, Republic Bank, have some arrangement to compensate them, or if it's Precision Woodworking, will compensate them. I'm here with Mr. Marshall, one of the manager of Precision Woodworking that went into receivership sometime in 2011. So, sir, tell me about your experience working in this company. Was it a good company?
Oh, yes. Very good company. I worked there for 21 years.
21 years?
Yes.
And you were informed sometime in 2009 that the company will be going into receivership?
No, that the company had financial difficulties at the time. And restructuring was planned. Subsequently, I was paid part of my severance pay. By 2011, we were informed that the company went into receivership. This was publicized in the paper. So when I made queries with the director, I was told that there is a matter now facing the court, the commercial court, at the end of which I will be paid by severance pay in total. Since then, I have been seeing constant letters going back and forth in the public media, in the papers, where the Bulkans were writing the bank writing the Bulkans, denying what the Bulkans were claiming. I have then seen invitations for tenders being published for sale. Investigation has proved to me that all of the machines from the factory have been sold, right? They're all been sold out, and up to now I can't receive my pay. When I spoke to the directors as close as November month, they told me they couldn't say any more because they were muzzled, gagged was the correct word.
But you showed me a letter here from Precision Woodworking, and it is dated 29th of April 2009, which indicated that the company can no longer offer employment, and they will give you severance pay.
Yeah.
And they only could pay 40% of that.
Right.
So since 2009, when you received the severance pay?
Same time 2009.
And
On
since
the issue of that letter.
2009 to present, you did not receive the additional 60%.
No.
So
You're very
fearful. You're very fearful.
Yes, because we were told that it's dependent on the case.
2009, you're in limbo.
Yes.
And you need your difference.
Yes.
You are fearful that the bank, the receiver,
or the Bulkans, one of them lying to me.
is selling out the property of this company, Precision Woodworking Limited.
Yes.
and you're fearful that you are not getting compensation.
Right, because I even went to the receiver's office a few weeks ago. I did not speak with Mr. Khan, but somebody knowledgeable in his office told me that Mr. Khan wouldn't be honoring my claim because my matter wasn't adjudicated in the court.
Okay, thank you. I'm speaking to Mr. Imran, one is the worker Precision would work in, and you're going to tell us of his fear and why he's protesting out here today. Mr. Imran?
Yes.
Why are you protesting out here today?
We protesting because we want our money.
You want your money?
Yeah.
I understand that over 150 persons was working and Precision would work in.
Yeah.
A private company providing employment for a number of people and their families. So it's sustaining a lot of families in terms of providing employment. But some time ago you was told that the company cannot employ you any longer, and you was given severance, not the full severance pay. And you're out here protesting because you know who going to pay you the remainder, the 60%.
Yeah.
So you're concerned. You're a concerned worker.
Yeah, I'm a concerned worker, and I want my money because they tell me that when the company sell out, that they're going to pay me, and the company sell out there, all the machine out of the factory, and we ain't getting no money up to now.
That's like about 6-7 years now. You're waiting for this money.
No, since 2011, the company closed down.
No, but since when you got your severance pay? 2009.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
since
2009
to now.
So now,
right.
15.
So it's like 6 years.
Yeah,
so
whatever.
You're waiting quite a long time.
Quite a long time.
For this
and
money.
up to now, I can't get an answer.
And who you think is responsible?
Who is responsible?
You don't know.
I don't know. Who is responsible?
But you're hearing different stories from your former employer.
Right. Yeah.
Precision would work in, and you've seen a lot of letters in the bank, a lot of letters in the media about the bank story and the employer story, and then you heard about some gagara from the court.
Yeah. Because they say when the court say that when the bank sell out the place, we get money, and up to now they didn't tell me nothing. Because the factory sell out, all the machine gone out there, where we can't get money. So we want to give money. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Andrews, I want to ask you a very important question. Your placard read is APNU sheltering a scam. What do you mean by that?
The placard speaks for itself, but what happened initially when the workers would have spoken to me, it was at the time I thought it might have been so. But when I would have checked the papers and many other things, I realized that the person, individual in Mr. Ronald Bulkan, is not culpable. But initially this is what I thought, because a lot of things didn't make sense to me until I went through a set of things that would have been presented to me by the workers. I realized that the problem lies with the commercial code, the Republic Bank, and its receiver.
Tell me some of these things that is wrong with these organizations and these individuals as part of this scandal at Superior.
Now, basically, the Republic Bank is supposed to be a shareholder bank, a responsible organization. And if you're in court with one of the investors in your bank, obviously you should honor that and let the court proceeding go to finality. Not all of a sudden you appoint a receivership, and even after an injunction would have been filed to stop that receivership, you still went ahead and allowing this receiver with Mr. Kashir Khan to go and start to advertise for sale, tenders for and sale of the property in part and whole, if they can buy it in whole. So basically, why is the Republic Bank not being a good corporate body? By going according to the laws of this country. I wonder if the laws of this country does not apply to them. Because I've seen it happen before, where in 2007, I was representing some workers, 6 workers who were dismissed there, 5 female and a male. They were just dismissed on an allegation, and what I've seen there is that they can probably do what they want. They seem to be a law unto themselves. And we need to look at these things, because the workers of this company are going to be the persons who are going to suffer. And I have an interest in the benefits that workers are entitled to.
So, for the record, how this placard reads is given a negative light on the APNU.
Yes,
for the record, just tell me what is your position in relation to Mr. Bulkan's relationship with Precision would work in, and your personal feelings now after knowing the truth.
Well, I have dealt with Mr. Bulkan, as I said before, when I was in negotiation with salary and conditions of employment for the workers. And I found him to be a gentleman then, you know, and I think that he is a gentleman now, after I would have found out what actually transpired. Because it is not in the interest of the political party, whether PP, APNU or other, to have a kind of person who is perceived to be out of order or cannot be trusted, but I have found him to be above board.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andy.
Take down the placard.
Well, I'm very happy to have this opportunity to talk to you again, this time, of course, in Guyana, not in Toronto, Canada. That's part of my work schedule, and fortunately, it's not something new. I've always been accustomed to that kind of work. Well, I think after 2 or 3 months, it's likely to get a little easier, because by that time things will get more settled, and ministers and others will be able to get accustomed to what is the environment in which they have to work and get adjusted to that environment. And I have no problem with that. I think this will be done very shortly. Yes, because our government principally will be a government which will be looking after the working people's interest and to achieve not just economic growth but human development, meaning we must tackle the basic needs of the people. And the cost of living is very high in this country, and we want to ensure that the life of the people is improved. We have inherited a lot of problems, but we are committed to having a government which will be geared towards human development, that is meeting the basic needs of the people and ensuring that their democratic rights and freedoms are exercised to the fullest. We also want to embark on what we call lean and clean government. By lean, to stop any kind of extravagance. We are looking at things like salaries of certain people, permanent secretaries and others, political advisors of the previous administration, who are earning fantastic salaries and allowances and all kind of privileges, and we are cutting those out to the bare bone, what is essentially necessary for having a lean government, a government which does not waste the people's money. We are looking, for instance, at the Foreign Service. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is costing the taxpayers 1.2 billion Guyana dollars, which is more than is spent for health, education, fire service, and sea defenses. And a country like this can't afford that. In other words, as I said in a Trinidad interview recently, like when the CARICOM heads of governments were meeting, we cannot have Cadillac style or what they call Rolls-Royce style of living with donkey cart economies. Yes, we are going to bring that to an end, because for the last 10 years, this company was paid $50,000 a month, US. And clearly, that could have done a lot of good to the poor people of this country, for instance, in a housing program or an education program. We are going to get a lot of people who are going to give us voluntary service. Academic people in universities from various places have volunteered their service on a professional basis, consultancy basis, free of charge. In addition to that, we hope to capitalize on people who have retired. For instance, in Canada, there's an organization called CESO, and similarly, there are organizations of that type in all countries, developed countries. And we hope to mobilize people like those to provide us the necessary expertise at various levels to help to put the administration in an efficient basis so that we can produce more effectively, so that benefits can accrue to the people of Guyana.
Therefore, if we want to get out of poverty, if we want to get out of hunger, we need not to put all our eggs in one basket. We must get our farmers to become multicultural so far as agriculture is.
What do you think of the water situation?
Welcome, viewers and listeners, to this live call-in program, the Voice of the People program. Your host, Jaipal Sharma. Jaipal Sharma being the deputy leader of the JFAP party and no longer a former member of parliament, because today, as you know, is the official date in which parliament dissolved. Mr. President indicates on the 24th of February 2015 that he will be dissolving parliament on the 20th of February 2015. It should be by proclamation, and we should say today is the day when Parliament officially dissolved. So, I'm no longer from Parliament. I address myself as I promised, as Jaipal Sharma, representing the JFAP party as a deputy leader, and also we are part of the A-team, the APNU AFC Alliance, and this is what on where we stand presently. In studio with me, we have a number of persons on the panel, and first we're going to give Mr. Sankis to make his opening remarks, and then we head straight into the program.
Yes, Jaipal, the garbage continues to be a problem in the city. Somehow they're not picking up the garbage anywhere around, and who will they blame? You know, the town clerk has direct access to the Minister of Local Government and to funding, so I don't know what has suddenly happened again at the City Hall, where garbage is piling up all over the city, places stink, and you know, some measure needs to be taken, some emergency measures maybe to get the money to pay the people, so that they can clear up the city. Now, we've noticed that in the news that there a lot of money. They said government spent over 361 million on medical expenses for officials and others. We have now, of course, 116 million was spent on the now deceased presidential advisor Narvin Chandrapal, 160 million. And then we had expenses for dental work by Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Pauline Sukai, 2.1 million. They said that's about half of the amount that was spent on dental work. I think that Jennifer Webster was 1.3 million. She was the Minister of Human Services. PM Sam Hines was 28,240, which was, you know, within reasonable limits. But then Sam Hines' wife, Yvonne Hines, was 880. Then you have the case of the Attorney General, Anil Nandlal, 4.9 million in medical expenses in September 2012. We don't know what he went to look after, but he spent 4.9 million. Then Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, Ali Bash, for coronary artery bypass, 12.2 million, plus an airfare of $249,600. Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, 1 million medical expenses for 2012-2013. And Director of Audit Office, Jichalanjali Singh, who is the wife of Ashley Singh, Dr. Ashley Singh, the Finance Minister. Medical support, I don't know what sort of support it was, but it was 2.3 million, plus airfare to Canada, which is 1.1 billion. That's probably first class too, you know. So we need to really, the ordinary man is suffering, you know. Those people who make their NIS contributions, you know, you're not getting the amount that you should get to cover your expenses, but these guys can get it in excess. You know, you make your NIS contributions and you expect to get at least 3/4 of the amount to be paid, you know, paid for you once you have legitimate expense there. But it's not happening so. It seems as if the amount that you're being given is declining. Now, Newspapers, the Kaito News also made mention of promises made by President Ramotar when he took office. The first promise he made was to fix the problem with radio licenses. You know, we had all this, radio licenses were issued to a few favored persons. Nothing was done. So that is an example of unfulfilled promise by Ramotar, President Ramotar. He said he would deal with corruption. We can't see any evidence of this. Then he promised to release the NCN report. Remember what happened there? There was there was a big scandal at NCN and involving top officials who went off the job, but nothing was done. We've got no report, you know. The NCN report has never surfaced publicly. And then he promised to review VAT to help poor people to get a better life. Nothing has been done again. So we see a government with empty promises. And what is happening to, they have the monopoly of NCN, it seems, because especially during the cricket commentary, you see them in the middle of the night, you see the president coming on, and you know, it's not fair, because the other political parties should have the opportunity to have access to NCN just as he does, just as the PPPC does, and it's not happening. You know, it seems as if it's only one political party that is getting the opportunity, you know, to air their propaganda on NCN.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sankis. And there's a number of things Mr. Sankis had mentioned which we could go in depth, and I know the important issue may be the government official receiving the majority of the state health assistance, and you know, if you're ill, you have to go through the bureaucracy of filling up paperwork and running to the minister, running to the hospital, Georgia Public Hospital, to get documentation to just receive the maximum of, I think it's 5,000 US. That is the maximum amount they would give, and that's equivalent to $1 million Guyana dollars. And we are hearing that now government ministers, although receiving super salaries, and you heard from Dr. Jagan himself. We just show you an interview with Dr. Jagan after taking office after the election on the 5th of October 1992, indicating the situation with the previous administration paying super salaries. And one of the areas that he attacked, that is the president, Dr. Jagan, attacked, was the Foreign Affairs Ministry. And, you know, it's very strange that the prime ministerial candidate is coming from the said ministry. Dr. Jagan said he's going to attack first the Foreign Affairs Ministry. And I don't know if the slap in the face of the now deceased president, Dr. Jagan. So this is things to look at and things to ponder on. But I know you had viewed this program yesterday. You had viewed this program today, before the commencement of the program today on the 20th of February 2015. You had noticed I carried out a interview with some protesters in front of the Republic Bank. One of those protesters was holding a placard indicating that AP and you have a scam within them. It prompted a lot of response, but this is the fairness of, you could say, the Just Royal Party, the Vice of the People program. We cover all issues, no matter if it include a member of our partnership. So there you have Ian Andrews. That is the representative, the union representative of, or for the farmer employees of Precision Woodworking, making a statement. But at the end of that interview, indicated to Mr. Andrews, I want to know for the record if indeed one of the owner of Precision Woodworking, being APNU, former member of parliament, I must say, now Rana Bulkan, was, if he was indeed the individual referring to as a scam, and he cleared the air on that and said no, but that was his first interpretation when he first took on the role of representative for the workers, the farmer workers of Precision Woodworking. So I decide because people was wondering what happened and if I decide to change side, they want to turn PPP, attacking my own APNU comrade. So I decided to solicit a word from Mr. Bulkan, Ronald Bulkan, former Member of Parliament. As you know, I'm saying former Member of Parliament because Parliament should be dissolved, the proclamation should be issued, and Parliament should be dissolved today, the 28th of February 2015. So refer to him as former Member of Parliament. I solicit an explanation from him for this possible protest from his former employees, seeking an answer in relation to the severance pay. Mr. Bulkan said to me, Jaipal, you know I always willing to speak with you on any matter, and this is my personal matter. We're happy to speak with you, but the court of Guyana, the High Court, issued gagarda to him, Mr. Bulkan, and representative of Precision Woodworking, that they cannot speak on this matter. Now, I don't think this gagarda is extended to the workers who are suffering the indignity of not receiving the full compensation of the severance pay since 2009. And we're going to hear from a worker. We have a representative in the studio and the panel who are going to speak in relation to his personal feelings in this matter and how this matter affected him. And we have Mr. Ian Andrews, the representative, union representative of the workers of Precision Woodworking, who will give a statement to clarify the reason he was holding this placard. So we go straight to Mr. Ian Andrews, representative, union representative of the Precision Woodworking workers. Mr. Andrews?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Jailal Sharma, for having me on your program and to clear a few things that may have appeared to be contentious. Now, being out there has to do with representing the workers, as you would have said, because there are times when workers have problems, and that's where union persons come in, persons who they think they can trust, and persons like me who would have helped them before, had dialogue with the management of the Precision Woodworking in good faith. At that time, when we had those discussions, the representative of that company, Mr. Ronald Bulkan, would have been the point person. And as I've said before yesterday, I found him to be a complete gentleman. So I was taken aback when the workers would have said to me that they are trying to get answers and trying to get their severance, and when they go to the management would, in the form of Mr. Bulkan, would say that he can't speak because the court would have put a gag on him. So obviously the bank would have been the place to talk to after we would have learned that the bank had some kind of involvement in this. But there was no answer there. So after Mr. Bulkan would have said that, they not understanding would have come to me to indicate, well, that something is amiss. So I decided to do an intense investigation and research into the entire matter, and I have found that that gag order that Mr. Bulkan was speaking about is completely true. And also, that gentleman who I spoke to since about 2004 is the same gentleman who is there. So there be no change in his demeanor, and I'd like to apologize for my initial thought that there might be something wrong with this gentleman, but he's as is.
Okay, for the question, one of your placard also read that Republic Bank is apparently engaged in money laundering activity. Why did you perceive such something to be perpetrated by this bank?
Yes, sir. Now, if a company is in court with the lender, there's the Republic Bank, and there is a court proceeding, according to what I understand the law to be, that court proceeding ought to be concluded before any other actions need to be taken by either side involved in those court proceedings. But the money laundering thing is, there's Kaito News, Wednesday, July the 2nd, is where this information was brought to us.
What year?
2014. That $82 million was deposited into this bank account.
To whose bank account?
Into the company's bank account.
Which company?
The Precision Woodworking.
And Mr. Burkan indicated to you or to his member of staff if you're aware about it?
The company knows nothing about that. Why should somebody have such a good heart to deposit $82 million? $82 million is a lot of money.
But then workers may feel in some way that since money is in the account, pay us.
They should be paid.
But this money was indeed money that was supposed to be received by Precision Woodworking based on your investigation?
No, sir. Any money that would have been going to dealing with Precision Woodworking would be payments to the bank, not money being given to them. So an individual would have paid in this money to the bank. So one asks oneself, why should one have such interest to deposit that kind of amount of money into an account that has nothing to do with them? So the clear indication to the workers is that money is there, we're not being paid. Money is paid, which means that either the bank is selling something. What is being sold for this $82 million?
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Did, during that process, anybody from Republic Bank came out to speak with you to offer clarification?
No, sir, but as a representative for the workers, and most of the workers would be glad to know that Republic Bank, as a responsible corporate body, can have some kind of, create something so that we can have dialogue, speak to us. If the management cannot speak to us, well, then we expect that they may be able to say something to us.
So I'm inviting members or any person from Republic Bank who want to clarify this matter, that they could also seek my presence so they could give their side of the story. I don't know if they're going to do like Mr. Burkan from Member Parliament and say Gagarda was placing them. You know about this Gagarda? You saw the order from the court? Because we don't know if they're saying the truth.
We haven't seen the gag order.
You know about the Gagarda?
No,
you know about it?
No, we haven't seen the gag order.
So we don't know Mr. Burkan is speaking
but
the
what I'm
truth.
wondering about, this was an open letter.
And your
this
name?
is a letter. My name is Eustace Marshall.
And you being...
I'm a former employee.
Yes.
And this is a letter in the public domain. The letter Mr. Andrews referred to, July 2nd, 2014. Now, Republic Bank being an entity that depends on its credibility, etc., in people's eyesight, why would accusations like these, why wouldn't you find it prudent to come out and defend yourself? Why would you find it to respond to something like this type of allegation? I can't recall ever having seen a response in you.
So I understand that there are some 150 employees affected by this back and forth action with Precision Woodworking and Republic Bank. As a result,
the total
workers are suffering. You only receive, I understand, 40% of your severance pay, and you were waiting for this matter to be settled, so Precision Woodworking would do what is in the best interest, probably to by themselves. They will probably resuscitate the industry or probably sell whatever is there so they could pay you.
Yes, but
that was your indication. So to Mr. Andrews, what is your further action that you will be taking in relation to this issue?
Now, we have had one picketing exercise. There are a lot of players in this whole scenario, including Bank of Guyana, Mr. Christopher Ram as auditor, Kashir Khan, Cameron and Shepard, Mr. Stobie, Robin Stobie, Chancellor of the Judiciary, and Mr. Sugrim. All these persons, we are prepared over a period of time to picket all these persons. Somebody must be able to tell the workers something. Our picketing exercise will be very extensive if we are not given a hearing by the bank to clear up all these things.
Okay, so you prepare to picket all of those individuals?
Yes, all of these individuals.
Okay, so from here, the staff yourself, a former staff of Precision Woodworking, what is your words finally? What do you want to see happen? You mentioned about the slothfulness.
Yes, I would like to know why isn't the commercial bank concluding this matter? This
So-
matter should be given a hearing.
You're
It's
speaking
3
about
years now
the slothfulness
of the action, the final
of
action,
the
the trial.
of the commercial court.
Yes.
And believe it or not, the commercial court, the individual, the judge was one of them who received this government assistance.
Right.
Right. So I believe, I don't know if the same judge, but as a member of the commercial court, received assistance from the government of Guyana for his, I think he had a bypass or something like that. So I don't know about the figure. I think it's somewhere around 5 million Guyana dollars. So
It is our understanding that this matter should be completed in court before, all that was necessary could be done. But our grouse is that although there has been no court action, yet we know that the receivership, Mr. Kashir Khan, has been selling off property.
and you could tell me what was sold so far from your personal
Well,
knowledge?
I can tell all the machines that were in 35 industrial site have gone. The building can be removed. I think that might have gone also. But I know all of the machines that were there have gone.
But your major concern is that since the machinery is being sold, the
they're being
property,
sold, they
the
should have given some money
property
to
is
us.
being sold. Your fear, the fear of the 150 workers, is that when all this is over, you want to know if Republic Bank
Bank
going to
will be paying
pay
us.
you the severance fee.
Yeah.
Did you had any communication with Republic Bank in relation to who will pay and what they say?
I had contact with Mr. Kashir Khan's office. I did not speak to Mr. Kashir Khan. But I was informed through his office that the only people who they would be honoring are the people who had mediation, who had some adjudication done for them in the court.
And did you went to court on this
No,
matter?
I haven't been to court. So I'm left out in the court.
Okay, so we hope that we're going to again ask Ronald Polkan for his comment. He did say to me personally that there was some garden sometime in November 2014. I don't know, but I have to take his word. I have to take his word because he was an honourable member of Parliament and an honourable gentleman. So we take his word for granted. We need to hear from Republic Bank if they want to clarify their side of the story, and also if the union would like the union rep. If you'd like to say anything further before we conclude the program.
Yes, quickly, Mr. Sharma, is that the injunction was granted in the Supreme Court on the 28th of February 2013, restraining Mr. Kashir Khan from disposing of the company's asset. There was a disclaimer by public notice from the bank saying that the ex parte injunction granted on that date no longer subsists. We'd like to know when, by whom. And also, I think with that court matter, they could well have been some kind of good faith where a moratorium of 2 or 3 years could be granted to this company so that they could try to revive the company, which would have created jobs for these same workers. And then at the end of 2 years, probably give them some kind of 2 years to get things right. But this haste to have this receiver he seems hell-bent on disposing of these property, of this property.
That injunction that you referred to, injunction that was dated when?
28th of February 2013.
And is not being adhered to by the bank?
No, sir. The bank says it no longer subsists, but nobody knows when that injunction was waived, discharged, or anything. So by whom?
Do you think the worker or maybe yourself should address this matter with the ombudsman?
It might be a way to go, sir. We'll think about that. I'll have to discuss that because remember I'm representing them and I can guide them, but it's whether they want that to be done.
Okay, thank you for being here.
Mr. Sharma,
yes.
I would want to ask the employees who are all affected. There's 150 families at least. My telephone number, if you can give it out, and they can get in contact with me so they can come and look after their interests.
Who are you referring to? in terms of?
Other fellow employees who still are waiting on their severance pay.
Oh, you want to share your number so they could contact you?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
My number is 651-7318. And I'm inviting all of former employees, you still have your severance pay to collect, come and join me. Let us go out and do what is necessary to get our pay. Okay. It's due to us. We worked further.
Okay, repeat back your number.
651-7318.
And this is for all former employees
of
that
Precision
was
Woodworking.
employed Precision Woodworking to come and join you in terms of join the protest.
Protest, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, and we will now return to our program, the live calling program. We go straight to the lines. Caller, in there.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to talk about this magistrate, this
Yes.
young, beautiful woman.
Yes, very good.
This PvP district. I call it all kinds, Indians, Amerindians, Portuguese, Chinese. I am calling them all kinds. Let us come together and support this magistrate because it's a young woman and we are young people.
Well, I'm calling on the Women's Miners Association. I'm calling
Well,
on
I'm
the
calling
Red Thread. I'm calling on the Lawyers Association. I'm calling on civil society to support this magistrate. What is her name?
I can't remember her name, but
Yes.
anyhow, I want all of us to take a look at this. Young people, young Indian people in the country, young
Magistrate
Amerindian,
Edmond,
young,
right? Edmond is her name.
we look at it,
So,
and we must vote out this PPP because the disrespect. Look what's what they spend on one person's teeth, 2 million something.
well, we're going to speak about. Let us allow people to speak about it, okay? So I'm personally asking all those women out there, civil society, all those organizations that claim that represent women, churches and so forth, to come out. Mothers Union, Teachers Union, everybody must come out and speak against what is happening to Magistrate Edmond. So this is what I'm calling for. I must thank you. Caller, in there.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Jaipal Sharma. How are
Good
you?
afternoon. Okay.
Okay, I got one little issue to make, right?
Yes.
I want to know the advisor, the liaison to the president, Mr. Kwame McCoy.
Yes.
I want to know how he could be so lawless to the Kaichur News reporter. And then, on fact, when Adam Harris went to the office of the president, that's where how he behaved and tell Adam Harris to get out. I want to know what is lawless about that. And number two,
What is lawless
this
about?
message is for President
Wait.
Ramatar.
What you want to know? What is lawless about that?
Yes,
You saying it's not lawless?
it is lawless.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Okay, number two, President Ramatar, everywhere he go and he give a speech, he's telling the nation that, remember there's a time when you had to wrap the flour on the sardine. I want to give a message to President Ramatar. PPP never bring back flour and dal to this country. It's President Desmond Hyde, and President Desmond Hyde did a wonderful job. And we had security in those days. We don't have security today. So every day people getting killing and murdering, and this PPP administration know about a lot that goes on here. Thank you.
Right, and I support you. Is the late president, leader of the opposition, and leader of the PNC, who brought back those items that was listed as contraband, not the PPP. Is that individual, Desmond Hyde, known by Indian supporters Desmond Prasad, who ensured that security, the citizen of this country was once again secured by instituting again the death penalty, which this government put on hold. So it was that individual that incarcerated Rabbi Washington. It was the PPP who freed him. And now today they have a former priest of that ministry, the Rabbi Washington ministry, as a member of parliament, now former member of parliament in the PAPC political party. Caller was correct. You speak about the liaison officer and his arrogant, distasteful, obnoxious behavior. I received the report, and how it was related to me was as follows. It was said that when Uncle Adam attended a press briefing at Office of the President, after the press briefing, he was attacked. They said the press officer lash off or gave a lash off to Uncle Adam in front of the presence of senior officials and media workers. And when he finished with the lash off, what happened? Adam was speaking to somebody, and this pressman decided to press again. Adam said, "I'm not speaking to you, sir." And I think Uncle Adam walked away. This pressman from after the president walked behind Adam. Adam was trembling. The pressman said, "Why are you trembling? Why are you watching back? Like you want to give you something?" And then this pressman lash out at Uncle Adam, saying that he's a dirty old man, and that Kaichur News, as you know, Adam is the editor-in-chief. Kaichur News would write trash, but this pressman don't read this trash. This pressman says he's used this trash newspaper, Kaichur News, to wipe his behind. But how he know about what Kaichur News write about him if he didn't read it? So probably he don't read trash. He listen to trash. And again, it's an allegation of wasteful spend of taxpayers' money. Who bought the Kaichur newspaper for this pressman to wipe his behind with? State funds. Again, wasteful expenditure. So I don't know how much money this government going to give that pressman to clean his mouth. As you know, they spend some 2.1 million to fix the mouth or clean the mouth of Minister Sukai, the American Affairs Minister, a hot mouth woman. That was a very expensive mouth and a very expensive smile from that minister. Caller in there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
As I say every single time, every single day, every second is a day. As long as you have persons who watching your back, you can do what you like. You can talk what you like.
But Uncle Adam didn't want the pressman to watch his back. He was trembling.
My body got into you now. You remember now when you're at Terry?
And then this pressman chased Uncle Adam
We know
out
it's not
of
the
the
first
office.
time you do it.
If this pressman house.
It's not the first time you do it, sir. Remember when I had the American thing when he chased the woman from your warden? Or the American place when I had the thing they had up there? The conference?
Right.
These are the things, they extra from person like this. As I said to you again, I remember tell you, I remember when I had the last election, he was one of the persons who was going around causing fusion at voting places. Remember at the last election, he was the persons who pulled a gun and pick a bomb and all these kind of things.
Yes, knock down people are kind of story.
No, you have to get people like these in areas like that to do dirty work. He's one of the persons doing dirty work, Mr. Sharma.
Well,
why you listen to me? I don't know how long you will continue doing it. His time is drawing close. Right now, remember now, Mr. Sharma, enough is on edge.
Yes.
So you got to remember now that we got to pray and ask Father, Mr. Adam did the right thing. You know why Mr. Adam tremble? It's the passion he's in. That you can't hide up and lash them or something, or do what you have to do. What the caller can't just about Mr. Hyde do not flower. It's so true because it's not born and flower because Bonham wanted to do local. I'm
It's not just local. It was what you refer to as austerity measures.
That's correct.
Okay?
Right.
Europe now is on austerity measures.
Okay, we accept that.
That's what Bonham was doing, was a form of austerity. Bonham was seeing what the European Union should have done long to save the economic situation.
We know that.
So Barnum was so wise that he imposed austerity measure, and other people don't know what's austerity, especially from Freedom House. And they campaigning and Barnum banning sardine, flour,
right.
onion, garlic, and split peas and potato.
Yeah.
And only in this program, I had to give a cane harvester those items. I probably have more greater than these men.
But
Because
Mr.
the
Sharma, before you think-
PPP, what the PPP ban is your power.
That's right.
Your power to buy these items. You can't get employment.
Well, that's true.
So you have to thief or commit crime to eat bread, to eat sardine, and these things.
I watched
Potatoes.
up to yesterday morning, a young 30-year-old guy got shot. Broad daylight from the East Bank. Broad daylight, they can't do this. The people them claim that 2 car chasey. No, what all this is, what all this
Okay,
country living in.
we know the crime situation is on the increase, and you know the this thing of organized crime
It is.
and the underworld and
The money laundering and
money
everything.
laundering.
Because everybody
and
don't
the-
going for the easiest way out. But they know it's the most dangerous way out.
Yes.
What I'm saying to you, Mr. Sharma, that
And the
even though
cocaine
daytime,
trafficking, the trafficking in person, the trafficking in
Every single thing
weapons,
is-
the trafficking in chicken.
everything. Remember, it becomes a bondage.
Okay, caller, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Sharma.
Caller, in there.
Hey, Mr. Sharma.
Hello?
Yeah, good day.
Yes.
My take on this $5,000 was that they say a total, they create the country. You don't need a $5,000 bill. So, who is looking excited that you have $5,000 bill? It's looking bad. It's bad that you have $5,000 bill. And we have no need for such a big note. We are accustomed to $3.80. We don't have balance cents. We have $5,000.
All right, good, thank you. So the $5,000 notice for the 5% of the rich people in the country. And the operator could show background footage of some outreach works that I personally conducted, so a person could know that who's viewing this program for the first time. And this program is broadcast internationally. Person probably seeing this program for the first time must know that I'm just not a person sitting on television speaking, but actually put those words into action and actually went out there doing humanitarian work, helping the people, giving them a voice. Caller, in there.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm calling concerning the inquiries into the other incident beside the Water Rodney one. People are calling for other inquiries, like for the Linden and Waddle and so. But I have looked at the inquiry for Linden, and the people who are representing those people leave them on their own, and they didn't know what to say. So I don't know what kind of inquiry they're calling for. And the other thing, I would like to see more evidence backing up those things that they're putting that the minister's spending, and so I haven't seen. We want evidence into those things.
What things?
The money. I think the government is ready to answer how they use it, but I ain't seeing no evidence coming forward. The press has been printing all sorts of things.
Okay, not too clear what you're asking for, but the Linden inquiry after the incident, July 25, the government in July 2012, the July 2012 incident, the government did spend large sum of tax-based money to carry out the inquiry, in which they bring in jurists from the Caribbean to carry out these activities, pay them super salary, including our former chancellor was sitting there and paid super salary. And the insult was that these individuals say those persons that receive injuries maybe for life, they cannot recover. Some die, 3 of them died. The relative only receive meager compensation between less than $2 million to $150,000 for losing like an eye. To losing your life, you get about $1 million. But these individuals, these jurists from the Caribbean, from CARICOM, receive millions of dollars. Repeat, millions of dollars for a 1-month exercise. Caller in there.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Jaipal.
Yes.
And everyone around you. Jaipal, I want you to notice that the campaign train is on. And the two things that they will be talking about is growth and development. When we say growth, you would know exactly, and I'm quite certain that the Guyanese people don't know what is growth and where the growth is. Growth and development. We're looking at development. What is development and where development is, as we see what is happening at the UG, Georgetown and Ting campus, where the students are suffering for the kind of development of proper lecturers to lecture to them and payment to proper lecturers. So where is this growth that we can see, that we, the Guyanese people, must see when you're speaking about you have the Guyana economy has grown by so much? Give us an explanation of what is growth really, where is the growth, and where the development is supposed to be taking place in that growth.
Well, you want to convert me to a PPP supporter? Because
No,
I didn't see no growth, so I can't give you an example of any growth and development.
Okay,
I heard the president.
Most
I
people
heard the
don't know where the growth is.
Caller, I
And
heard
where we are developed.
Okay, I heard Mr. President when they was giving out the $10,000 cash grant because we care. He was in the Amerindian community speaking about the Amerindian youth must have roots and wings. And I said, what you doing to these Amerindian people?
Tying them down because they can't fly.
They must eat cassava and they must eat chicken wings. You know, but I don't think that was his message, but the Amerindian interpreted as he's saying they must eat cassava and eat chicken wings or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? But basically what he was referring to is that the roots, the morals must be good. They must take exam from the government, which is a bad thing anyway, right? So, and they must have wings to fly out of the interior, go come into Georgetown University and go farther fields, become doctors, lawyers, and so. And magistrate, when become magistrate, so when you have the opportunity to judge a government official to terminate his service. Okay?
Yes.
So this is what he was encouraging the Amerindian youth to do when he say about roots and wings. But you speaking about growth and development.
Yes.
And in relation to growth, for the record, for the books, they will have growth and they will have development. The question is this the amount of growth and development we should have had for 22 years of the PPPC?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
And that is no.
Because
whilst the GDP may increase, you still at square one, because inflation consume any growth or any increase in your earnings.
Yes.
So you still at square one. You still in the same position like 1992. Although we had 8 consecutive years of growth, we also had 8 consecutive years of inflation, which was above the growth rate.
Well, they ain't talking the one.
Right, so good, thank you.
Oh, you. All right.
Caller, in there.
Hi, Mr. Jaipal Sharma.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. There's this woman who made a statement. She works in one of the highest office. That she doesn't...
Which woman is that?
You're going to know that she doesn't read the Kaiser news.
Which woman? The woman that called on the program?
No.
Who?
That she... just understand me.
Oh.
That she doesn't use the Kaiser news. But what she does is that she uses the Kaiser news, fold it neatly, then she wipes her bottom, so that she uses it as a sanitary.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, all right, Carl, thank you. I know it was a press man. I don't know if it was a press woman. Carla, in there.
Yes, Mr. Sharma, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
I just want to say, I know they're talking about Mr. Branham, but remember this GMO food that the Ministry of Agriculture was promoting a couple years back? That was one of Mr. Branham's ideas in the first place.
Who's?
This GMO food that the Ministry of Agriculture was promoting, grow your own food.
Yeah.
That was one of Mr. Branham's ideas.
Yes, that was Barnum idea. Okay, we know that.
And the next thing, this $2.2 million the Minister of Environment spending on street. This for real?
Yes, correct, for real.
Okay,
We're going to speak more about that. Caller in there.
Hi, I just want to say this. 2 days ago, I heard Mr. Moses Nagamutu talk. You, I think, played on your station, and it was like I was listening to myself. He was saying all the things about but robbery, criminal, the youths, everything. I was to leave the country. Air this. It might be some interest. I was to leave the country next month. I'm not going because of the election now, because I feel that my one vote can make a difference.
Yes, your one vote. Let me tell you how important is one vote. If it's a neck-and-neck race, one vote will determine who is the next government.
Yes, yeah, and I'm sure if everybody think like that, we can go forward.
Correct.
But
if everybody say the individual votes are important,
yes,
it will make a difference, very big difference.
Just make that change because it's for my kids. I vote for Dr. Cherry Jagan, and look where we end up. Look where we end up. Unfortunately, he couldn't get
Well, Carla, that's the problem.
And everything.
Carla, that's the problem. People still believe they're voting for Dr. Jagan.
Yes, I know, but we're not. We know. I mean, we know now. We know now. We're not that stupid now. We know better now.
So,
and I just feel that it's very important that I stay back because somehow I feel if I leave, my vote is so important. That one vote, and people, Guyanese, please, just look at it that way. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Mr. Nagamutu, I love the way he speaks. I love what he was saying. And yes, in our time, I can remember Mr. Haidt was one of the best presidents. Look at the crime rate we have now. Look what is happening. All of us, we getting killed, murdered on the road with lives. He talk about all of that. He speak about all of that. It was like I was listening to myself. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. But you must remember, C.N. Sharma is the one who spoke about the plight of the poor and all these incidents. He spoke about corruption in this government for the past 20 years, and I took up that mantle. You're now hearing from Nagamutu. Yes, he was a PPPC. After the PPP claimed that he didn't get his way, he decided to change. But a lot of people in Freedom House believe in what Jagan believe. Just to say to the many supporters of the PPP, Dr. Cherry Jagan is dead. He's no longer with us. His spirit is dead. His legacy is dead. And I think you should cremate the PPP come the 11th of May 2015. This is my message to you. Unless before they go to nomination, they decide to change the presidential candidate and put a person like Ralph Ramkaran as the presidential candidate for the PPP and change the prime ministerial candidate and put somebody probably, if you want to use that, somebody like who you think may be the best individual. Henry Jeffrey, because he's an outspoken individual, as the civic component. Maybe then we could say the people have a good option in voting for the PPC. But presently, no. And we shall give them that resounding no, like we give them in Parliament when they try to rob this nation by put forward in budget schemes to enrich themselves, family and cronies. Caller in there.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I want the Guyanese people to understand that because of Bonham, many PPP supporters are making millions of dollars with Bangamiri and shark saltfish.
Very good, very good.
Right.
And I want you to see that bridge there. That's the PPP stronghold area I was in Region 3 there. And the people can't get the bridge. They had material to build the bridge, they take away the material. Okay? So, but we have government official in 2012 and 2013, out of a total amount for those 2 years of $361.4 million Guyana dollars that the state put aside in the budget for financial assistance to the people of this country, and that's the poor and the people that can't afford the medical expense. For the year 2012 and 2013, $361.4 million was put aside for the poor people of this country, and we was recently told that this loving and caring government took 200 million for themselves. A government that is well paid and well remunerated in terms of benefits, in terms of the pension, take 200 million for the period 2012 to 2013, the poor people money, to look after themselves. I want you to address this. I want you to address why they exclude your representative in parliament from the opposition. Why they exclude you, the poor people, from getting the same benefit. Why the government refused to put a structured policy in place to deal with all the benefits that government officials, ministers are receiving. I want you to ask these questions. These are important questions. And it's very sad to know what is happening in this country. It is very sad. I need you to address these questions urgently, seriously. When one government official who is not a member of parliament, but an advisor to the president, and now deceased, and was a colleague that I knew too, a good man, but doesn't mean we must go overboard, and that is Navin Chandapal, now deceased. The government spent 116 million Guyana dollars in 1 year for this individual. It didn't save his life. How many persons' life could have been saved if this money was given to the poor? This person was receiving a very handsome salary from Office of the President. Of course, he was a presidential advisor, just like Gail Teixeira. That individual was receiving $1 million. Most likely, Navin, when he was an advisor, was receiving the same money, but that was not enough. They had to go in the treasury and give 116 million. Okay, well, he was a good man, but still he was not a member of parliament. We had in the opposition a very good individual, a very good person, a woman, a decent individual to fight and struggle for the people in the form of Deborah Backer, now deceased, who suffer also from ailments similar to that of Navin Chandrapal, but was a servant member of parliament and deputy speaker. And when the family say, if you could reimburse us to the government, they say to the government, please reimburse us at least 10 million. You know what was the answer? No. Because we don't look after people. We, the government, don't look after deputy speaker. We look after advisors who's not public servants, who's a political figure. And we give them 116 million, but we can't give the family of Debbie Backer 10 million. That's a sin. So these are the things that we want to address, and sorry you had to lose that caller. Caller, you in there?
Mr. Sharma, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have a problem.
Everyone in this country have a problem.
Well,
You join the line.
Mine is a different problem.
Okay.
My husband was working at Guyana.
Yes.
And I was abroad. And I came back in this country. I was lying on the bed in the house. And something falls from the roof and hit my head and break my face. Guys so cool, after 5 years now, they decide they're going to pay me and they want the papers and stuff. When I take up all the papers now, they say that's gone and nothing is wrong with me. But my face is swollen. One of my nose, I do 2 surgeries.
And the government gave you any assistance for your health care?
No.
No.
Right now, I cannot do anything.
Well, you can walk. I know you could speak. Could you walk?
Yes,
could you travel?
yes, I went to your office and collect 2 papers.
Oh, well, next time you come to visit me at Channel 6, I want you to come on the program.
The girl said you were on the air.
Okay, sorry about that. but if I'm in the air, I can't engage you in conversation, of course.
No.
So I want you to come early to come on the program so we could speak on that at great length. Okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Caller, in there.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Yes, good afternoon.
I want to know if PNC and APNU get in there. If you are going to continue doing this program, or you are going to go and beg. Because since PUP got in power, I know Mr. Sharma, he had a small...
Okay, good, thank you. So, yes, if they, and not if and buts, is when, and it will be after the elections on 11th of May 2015, the GCOM official, Dr. Steve Bali, indicated that GCOM is in a position to declare the election the following day. I don't know if we want that to happen because we want a proper result being declared. So there's no rush in this thing, and we should not fight for anything rush. We want a proper declaration of the results. We don't want you to say that PVPC won and then we have to challenge it in court. So we want a proper declaration of the results. There's no rush. However, if you use confidence, the GCOM is confidence, go ahead and issue such declaration. But yes, I will continue to do this program if I'm not given a position in the administration. And if I'm given a position in administration, I will continue to beg for the poor people. I will continue to do my outreach program and to help the poor and the voiceless in this country. Caller, in there.
Good afternoon.
Good
I'm
afternoon.
keep up your good work. Don't bother with none of them.
Okay.
But I want you to show all the partners for the PVP hiding.
All right.
All them dirty work when I hiding.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good. So here we have one advisor, now deceased, 160 million. And then we have a large sum of money going to fix the, I don't know if the entire mouth, the teeth, the tooth, what you must say, but if it costs 2.1 million, I don't know if they get gold teeth or diamond teeth in the mouth. I don't know what surgery they had to do. But it's an insult again to Dr. Jagan. Why is it an insult to Dr. Jagan? Because this government established what? Dr. Cherry Jagan Dental Clinic. And why none of these individuals couldn't go to Dr. Jagan Dental Clinic? Ask them that question for me. And get it done free. Carla, you're in there.
I like what you're talking about that because I pulled out the teeth and it cost me $20,000 and it was like a wisdom teeth. So I want to know how the minister is like $1 million and something dollars. What kind of
they must get teeth like sharks.
Exactly, shark teeth.
These people are sharks.
Exactly.
Only shark get multiple teeth, right in teeth, and as one would fall out or one will be torn out, it will grow back.
Yeah,
so these people are sharks.
Yes.
And the evidence is that the amount of money they're spending to fix the teeth.
Yeah, because I mean the citizens punishing and they get a super salary plus they're going into the kiddie and taking out the money and just doing their own thing. So, I mean, after May the 11th, we got to get these people out. So, a new government. So, I'm 14 APNU, so AFC. So, we're going to get the job done.
Okay, thank you. Caller, in there. Hello? Caller, in there.
Good day, Mr. Sharma.
Good day.
I would like to say that...
You like to?
I would like to say...
Yes, go ahead.
The President and the General Secretary walking all over the place talking about democracy. Do they know what is democracy? If they had democracy in the party, the President would never have been there. Next thing, two other things. People are saying government give a wee house lot, but they forget that they got to pay for it, and if they don't pay, the government taking it away. Next thing, the people crying, thanking government for the $10,000. The people don't know if they own money, but the government getting them back. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Yes, good, thank you. So Pauline Sukai, 2.1 million spent to fix our teeth. My friend, minister, colleague, Human Service Minister Jennifer Webster, guess what? Sum of 1.3 million. The Second lady, you could say, or the Prime Minister's wife, Ms. Resigns, $788,000 or $789,000 to fix her teeth. And then our chutney warrior and Solicitor General Nandalal, he racked up a figure of 4.9 million Guyana dollars of medical expense in September of 2012 in the United States of America for medical support, which we don't know what that means. So this for the 2-year Chutney Warrior, I believe he will be competing in the Clash of the Titans competition. And we got to wonder why every time it's the election they have the Clash of the Titan competition. This Chutney Warrior will be, and Chutney Warrior, these two, Chutney Warrior and Chatri Warrior, and Solicitor General will be competing in the Clash of the Titans competition.
And they got to fight.
Caller? Yes.
You know, you're talking the PPP. Remember, it's People Progressive Party. It's the people who they power up there. But who they at the bottom, PPP, punish the poor people. And see, it's a cop.
Okay, very good. Very good. So here we had the next minister, Junior Minister Agriculture, Ali Bash, who have a artery bypass, and he spent 12.2 million taxpayers' money. We wasn't told of this or his illness. I was sitting in the assembly. I know his absence. I know that may be something wrong with him. I didn't know, is my money paying for his surgery? People must know. And our former Minister of Health, Leslie Ramsamy, and now Minister of Agriculture, spent $1 million for medical expense for the 2 years, 2012-2013. Individual, and they want to put, of course, the individual like Robert Williams. Robert Williams did not get compensation for his illness because he was the deputy mayor of the Mayor City Council of Georgetown. It's because he was GCOM commissioner. So the newspapers carrying it like if as an opposition man. No, he was a commissioner of GCOM. As a result, he was given some medical compensation in the sum of 2.1 million. And a former minister was also given compensation of 1.6, Dale Bisnat. I don't know why. And the Minister of Finance, his wife, who is a senior officer of the Auditor General, a director of audit, received $2.3 million plus airfare of $1 million. And this is the Finance Minister wife. Conflict of interest. Okay? And I did mention the former Justice B.S. Roy. I don't know if he's former president. I don't know if he's still a justice, but 5.9 million for a bypass surgery. But what they giving us, the ordinary people? Nothing. Caller in there.
Yeah, Mr. Sham, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I just want to make a point. Now, when the PPP took office in 1992, there wasn't any food shortage in this country. So I don't know the president running around the place in Ireland, but
no, well, his competitor, or he's not competing against the APNU AFC alliance, which is say is the A team, or you could say the A plus, because you could say APNU alliance party, P party says plus. This is better. A plus for Guyana.
Yeah.
He's competing against Barnum. Apparently Barnum is still alive. So Donald Ramatar fighting against Barnum.
You got the Barnum train as the Prime Minister candidate.
Very good, very good.
You got the Barnum train.
That's right. Thank you. Caller in there.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
I'm calling concerning the situation there with the hospitals across the river that's on the west coast of Demerara.
Yes.
Well, only the other day I read an article where the Minister of Health was speaking about infant mortality.
Yes.
And presently there is no persons operating these ultrasounds across the river. Every time you have to do an ultrasound, you have to go to private, or they're referring to Georgetown, and it's like the same thing over and over again.
But Caller, this is why the people will vote them out. Okay? This is why the people will vote them out. These people got what? I think it was $5 billion to purchase drugs in 2014. I know there was some court order stopping them for purchasing drugs. I don't know if they purchased it, what they did with the money. Caller in there.
Hi, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
You don't know a very good job. But if the APNU win election, we might go line up for flour and soap again.
Okay, thank you. Maybe you may have to line up, okay? But you gonna support the PPP, and the PPP gonna say, look, you got KSI and you're gonna line up, okay? So is what was the PPP place name that that the former president used to run? Caller in there.
To the caller just now, she's really stupid.
Thank you. Here we don't the program time. We know there are a lot of stupid people, and I think the former president Jack Leo have his work cut out. He got to slap a lot of them. I think when it comes to giving people lash off, we got the pressman after the president will give them that lash off. When it comes to a feral blast, we have the education minister, Priyamanchand Morley, will give you that, and the Chatri warrior, or Chatni warrior and Solicitor General. So we have a lot of portfolios for the members of the PUP. Here we have to conclude the program, but let's conclude with a very good note that the Chief Justice issued an order to GGMC to justify the $3 billion loan to the housing body. Now, I support this, and let me see what justification GGMC, Central Housing Plan Authority, are going to put up. Because GGMC have to give money in relation to their activity. There's a lot of miners, small miners. The government presently are taking away their lands. Why you can't give the people the money? Lend them a loan so they could pay you the fees for their lands, and they could pay the workers so they could go into the interior and extract the precious mineral. So let us see the justification. The house lots, if there's any house lot got to be given out, they got to give out to miners. So I have a lot to discuss. Program time is cut short because we have paid program. Thank you for joining me. Have a safe and pleasant weekend.